Well, that was an awesome interview with Corinne from 2019. And so Dr. Tim wasn't with us today, so we pre-recorded that one. And we'll give Michael just a minute to get dialed in. And we welcome you to the second hour of Mind Shifters Radio. And today is, I know the date that Dr. Tim gave was from April of 2019, but this is actually, today is Tuesday, March the 16th, 2021. And our calling number is 563-999-3581 and press 1, and that puts you into queue to talk to us. We'd love to hear your comments and questions because that makes this your show. Welcome, Michael. We've already got 2 hands up.
Wow, so things are rock and rolling. Well, that's cool. Well, let me make an announcement before we get to the hands. Maybe the hands are in response to my announcement. I just did something that I've not done before, and we're going to turn it into a little contest. Jeannie and I did some energy field work and breath work this morning, and as a result of that, I got a whole presentation for today's show. And so I actually sketched it out, and you've seen it, Jeannie, and just on a half a piece of paper, and I could actually turn it into easily a 4-hour presentation, but I probably won't do that. It'll probably only be 15 or 20 minutes after we read from the book. But for those who are participating in the Codependence to Interdependence Intensive, if you go to your WhatsApp link for the Codependence Intensive, I just posted a picture of what that page looks like. And so I'm going to challenge you to take a look at that on WhatsApp through your private link for the intensive, and have a look at the picture. And the person who gets closest to being able to tell me what everything on the page means is going to get a free copy of Aramaicisms. So that 4-hour video conversation with myself and Dale and Hoffman. So if you're in the Codependence to Interdependence Communication Practicum, then, the last one or this one, you've got a private link to the WhatsApp group for that group. Go take a look at the picture. Call in, see what you can tell me about it. And let's see, maybe that's what our hands are about. Let's go for it, sweetie.
Okay, the first one is area code 602. You're on the air. Who do we have?
Hi, Jeannie. This is Cecilia in Phoenix.
Welcome, young lady. Good to hear your voice.
Can you hear me okay?
You are loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your work, Michael. Unbelievable. It's otherworldly is just what I want to say. But I also just did a worksheet this morning, so I wanted to comment on that. Can you hear me?
He said, yeah, he's muted. He said, go for it.
You're loud and clear. I had my mute button pushed. I apologize, but I can hear you loud and clear, and I'm delighted it's impacting you the way it is. I know that with the work that Jeannie, there's been a whole new level of work being done between Jeannie and I, and
yes,
with what's opened, it's like a whole new perspective. And
yeah, I knew you. I started work with you back in Dayton in 20 years ago, and I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get, not because of you, because of the level that I was at. So I'm
gotta
back
have the brain
again.
cells.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did see a video of you saying that it takes decades to try to get this. I don't know if you said decades. Okay.
My take is that the average person, when they're first exposed to it, if they actually engage in the work and do it, it takes 5 to 10 years to really comprehend where it's going.
It took me 20.
And what the possibilities are. And I've been doing it for 50 years, and I'm still just starting on whole new levels to comprehend what's possible and where it's going.
Oh, isn't that awesome? I mean, it's really good. It's not like, okay, you graduate from 8th grade and you don't have to ever do 8th grade again. But, anyway.
Sometimes I feel like I'm still in kindergarten after 50 years.
Okay, cool. You become like a child, right? Like a newborn babe, I mean,
That's
just
it.
to have
That's
the
the
mind,
idea.
the
That's
open
the part
mind,
of it.
yeah.
That's a part of us we need to reclaim.
So here's the situation: is that if I were to try to do this worksheet very quickly here, my situation is I work. Actually, I pet sit for a guy at noon for free, and in exchange he barters. He's a professional painter, and he owns 3 properties that he rents, Airbnbs. I also clean for him, but I do get paid for that. But we're neighbors. We became friends of our love of dogs, first of all, and he's married. He's got a family, and he's a neighbor. And so my love of dogs, he could kind of tell that because I'm always walking them, and he asked me to help him, and I volunteered to walk his dogs at noon, so the dog's not home alone all the time, just as a neighbor. And so he felt like not obligated, and in his heart he felt like he wanted to, if my roof needed repairs, he would do it for free and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it's been for the last 4 years. But lately it's become a little bit too close for comfort for me. So what happened is, right now he's going to paint 2 rooms of my house in exchange for the work that I do for him for nothing. And so he's coming up from behind me really gently, nothing, and he puts his hands on my waist, and it throws me off. I get into confusion, and I get into fear. I can't say anything. I'm paralyzed. And I part of me is like, well, I can't say anything because then I can't clean his Airbnbs, and I do make money doing that. So anyway, I have my feelings are fear, uneasiness, and all that. And what came out of this worksheet is that obviously I am doing your work, and I know that it's some reality in me. So when I got to, and I don't want to punish him, but I feel like I'm going to feeling these feelings that are coming up in me, the incredible fear that he's going to come over Thursday and this is going to happen again. So I did this, and I did this worksheet, and I got to the punishment thing was on 1E was not owning and being responsible for this reality, and instead pushing my feelings down. And it's just going to happen again then. So who gets to be punished is me. So then I'm going through the symptoms of healing. I choose that, which is the confusion I had when I started this. I don't know. This seems real, but I know it's something in my mind that's not true. Okay, so all right. So I got to. It's a repeating pattern in my life. Not that I have this happen every day, but I stay away from men. I really truly do, because when I do come out of the shadow and get, I started sharing with him my healing about 2 years after I knew him. And he seemed to be a good listener, and I said, please tell me not to share if this is uncomfortable to you. And he would listen. I didn't share a lot. I didn't share in depth. It mostly had to do with a lot of sexual abuse that I had as a child. Okay, so anyway, I was unsure that I should share it, but he didn't ask me to share, but he would be listening. And so and now he's at the point where when he came over the other day to to see what the rooms were like and what I needed to do to clean them up so he could paint them, he would come up from behind me and put his hands on my waist and move me maybe a little bit over to this way or that way so that he could get through or whatever. And I'm not comfortable with that. So what is a repeating pattern in my life is that when I was 4 years old, my grandfather took his teeth out and French kissed me. When I was 11, my father, quote unquote, taught me about the birds and the bees and had me, and I hope this isn't too graphic. I want to ask you that I not share if it's too graphic. Okay.
Well, hold the space.
Huh?
We're breathing with you. We're breathing with you, and hold the space.
He had me at 11 years old sit on his lap, and he said, "Come here, I'm going to teach you about the birds and the bees because your mom's a prude, and she doesn't like sex, and I want you to learn. I want you to learn about it." So he directed me how to feel him up. Okay. And I'm very naive, 11-year-old, and when I got to the part where I didn't want to feel him up, I jumped off his lap and I ran away, and he started screaming, "You're a whore! You're a drug addict! You're a whore!" And I didn't even know the words. Okay, I'm like, okay.
Right.
And
I hear you.
And then my mother came at me not long after that, and she got in my face and she said, "It's your fault. You turn your brother and your father on, and yada da 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 da, and you didn't." And I was frozen. I was totally frozen by everything in my family, with confusion and not understanding. And so I've been in Sex Addicts Anonymous. I'm sorry, not that. Survivors of Sexual Abuse Anonymous, 12-step groups. I've had sponsors. I've worked through it, God knows, in 2012. Anyway, I still have this victim story, obviously, that this is coming up is what came up on this worksheet. And I want to let go of this victim reality. So I did, ask Ruka and Rachma and Kuba, and ask them to restore my mind to love. Now, I believe that we are all love, even my father, even my grandfather, who are pedophiles. My father told me that my grandfather was a pedophile, took in pregnant women, and when they had their babies were born, he beat down their door and tried to rape their babies. So I couldn't talk about this my whole life. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so I've talked about it in my Survivors of Sexual Abuse people, my sponsor. That was in 2012, and I talked to it in my Adult Children of Alcoholics group and all that. Not at that level, though, but with my sponsor there. And here's the deal: is I did not know call-in tipping was learned from you, okay, until a recent video, which was very interesting, okay, because I found I'll tell you where I'm at right now, and I have been a Nazarene scene for 26 years, but I didn't want to dive into it until last year, and so I'm part of the religion now, okay, so I understand your Yeshua and all that, okay, and all the teachings and all that, okay, from where I'm coming from, and I get we are all love, okay, we're all sparks of the divine. But we were doing a service, an Essene service, and online, and the guy was talking about forgiveness, and also in some of the teachings it says that if your house is ruled by forgiveness, anxiety and depression can't live there. Sorry. So when I heard that saying, okay, of Yeshua, I knew that I was riddled by anxiety and depression my whole life, and I knew I had to work on forgiveness. Now, I know I have all of your tapes, your CDs, your everything, okay, and I've listened to them before, but for some reason I looked up radical, because it said radical forgiveness in the person who does the Essene services online, and so, or on Zoom, and so he said radical forgiveness, and I called him and I said, I found something online for radical forgiveness, and I sent him a link of you, and I said, I want to know what you mean by radical forgiveness. And he just simply wrote me back and said, just forgive. And I thought, okay, maybe he just doesn't know who I am, and can't get into how deep it is. I don't know. But, of course, most people think forgiveness is forgiving somebody else. Okay, so I just said, that's fine. He gave me a simple answer. But Colin Tipping, actually, I did come back to your work because of that. But Colin Tipping, I came to when I put it online, Radical Forgiveness, because I wanted to know what it meant. And Colin Tipping came up, and I did his worksheet, and I heard him talk about sexual abuse on a video online. And he said, you have a victim story. 12-step groups just perpetuate the victim story. Okay, so then I'm like, oh, my God, they do. So then I'm like, okay, I get that, and I want to release and clean my mind from the victim story. Anyway, so my goal.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Go ahead and offer and tell me what your goal is, and then let's.
My goal
you're
now.
Really in your story. Yeah. You
just
said
were
my
you
goal.
Just saying I was really in my story.
Say?
Okay. Anyway,
say again?
It's my exact goal is to be healed of the victim reality.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll join you in achieving that goal.
Thank you.
And have we got some tools for you?
Okay. I know you do. I've got one in front of me.
Cool. Okay, so that's one, and that'll be an important one to work with, but there are two others that I'm going to suggest that you use. And they may be new for you, or they may be something that over the years that you've worked with my work that you've run into before. But the first tool I'm going to suggest is a tool we call a mind shifter. Are you familiar with mind shifters?
Yes, I am. I was in a workshop with you with that. But I need help with that. Is that on your website? Because I don't have a video on that one.
Well, we're going to do it right now.
Oh, awesome.
That's what we're here for. So,
okay.
Let me first of all define a mind shifter. A mind shifter is a thought about an issue in your life around which you have negative thoughts, and it's the opportunity to surface, process, and release the negative thoughts.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, when you recognize that the mind works through resonance, if I say don't think about the color of your car, what's going to move in your mind but the color of your car?
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because my voice, actually I've never spoken a word, you've never spoken a word, nobody has. We have this little thing we call a voice box. It's actually a frequency machine. And we know how to cause it to vibrate air molecules. No sound comes out of our mouths. Sound is something that's generated in the brain by the brain. The only thing that comes out of our mouths is an energy that moves air molecules. Those air molecules go to an ear on the other end, and there's a little sensitive piece of skin there, a membrane, that in response to the movement of the air molecules causes that little drum called an eardrum to move. There's some bones connected to it, and when those bones move, they create an electrical frequency that then resonates or causes brain cells to fire. So that's resonance. So if we can come up with the right mind shifter, here's what's going to happen. We're going to ask you to take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle of the page.
Right.
On the left-hand side of the page, I'm going to ask you to set a page up now. On the left-hand side of the page, I'm going to ask you to write the mind shifter that I'm going to give you when we're ready for that. And then I'm going to ask you to take a period of at least 4 hours.
Okay.
Your phone is off. Your door is locked. You're totally in your own space, and stay focused, i.e., if you have to go pee or something, go and do that. But otherwise, you don't go eat. You don't go make phone calls. You don't remember that you should have written a letter to your grandmother 10 years ago, and you're going to go write it now. You just stay with the writing for at least 4 hours.
Okay.
And so when you write the mind shifter, it's going to resonate some brain cells. And what we want to do is to start a brain jump so that everything in resonance with this mind shifter ends up flowing out onto the page.
Okay.
And in 4 hours, you're going to reach some deep unconscious parts of your mind.
Okay.
So the mind shifter, I'm going to ask you to write it down now. We'll go on the left-hand side of the page. is this.
Mm-hmm.
All of the men in my life
Okay.
have always appreciated me.
Okay.
Are you breathing?
Okay.
Are you breathing?
Only from laughing.
Okay. Have always appreciated me, comma,
Okay.
for speaking up and asking them to keep their hands to themselves. Now, if my guess is correct, the first thing that your mind thinks in that regard is BS. Who are you trying to kid? Would that be accurate? And you're probably holding your breath.
No, hang on. I'm finishing writing this.
Okay.
So what came up is a complete release of sadness or something.
Say it again. Your phone just cut out a little bit.
I'm sorry. It was a bad phone. So what came up is this heat through my eyes and the water pouring out of my eyes.
Oh, write that on the page.
What side?
So now your body's already starting to detox from the assaults that you've had.
So wait, write it on what side of the page?
On the right-hand side of the page. So now we're going to write down every thought that comes, every sensation that comes, everything that happens in your body, everything that happens in your mind. You want to detail on the right-hand side of the page. So on the right-hand side of the page, you write, my eyes are already weeping and moving, and whatever else the sensations are and or the thoughts.
Okay.
And usually you'll go through thoughts like, well, that's a lie. Men have never appreciated me speaking up. They've always abused me for it. Say again?
I'm sorry. I wanted to hear what you said.
Oh, go ahead and say what you said, please.
Oh, my first thought was, I wish. I wish.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of the same thing as BS. Okay, so write down, I wish.
Okay.
So now I want you to spend at a point where you can block off 4 hours of time and just sit and write that.
Sit and write what? I just did.
Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take that piece of paper and maybe a whole notebook, and you're going to write that for 4 hours.
Write about what the sensation and thought that came up?
Write about anything and everything that happens to you while you're writing. And when you run out of things to write, I want you to write the mind shifter again. And then write what comes up. Write the mind shifter again.
Oh, I see.
The same mind shifter. And
so
you're going to keep
saying
going
nothing
for at
comes
least
up
4
after
hours.
4 hours? I'm sorry. Go ahead, because I really want to hear you.
It'll come out. It's already started, so we don't have any problem with that. There's going to be lots.
So after 4 hours of writing this, and what happens after 4 hours of writing?
Okay. Once you've written for at least, slow down. Once you've written for at least 4 hours.
Okay.
And you feel like you're reaching a comfort point or a completion point.
Okay.
Then stop. Go to something to eat. Go for a walk. Rest a little bit. Whatever. Then go back to it and start to look at consciously what you've written. When you're writing, you don't want to censor it. If there's language, whatever comes up, you just want to put it on the page. Even if it's things that you say, oh, well, I would never think that or say that, there it is. Put it on the page. And then once you've taken an intermission, go back and sit with it in your notebook and look at how many things are there that I need to do worksheets on. How much work do I have to do on what just surfaced?
Okay.
And there's going to be a ton of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
So that's the first tool that I'm going to suggest you use. So let's say when it comes to, let's say the first thing that came up was, I wish.
Yeah.
So then you have a goal for men to honor and appreciate you for speaking up, telling you to keep their hands to themselves.
Yes.
So you go to a worksheet. And so what am I going to write? I'm going to write about the time that I wanted to speak up to my father. I wish he would have listened to me. And my goal in number 3 is going to be, I wish my father had listened to me. I wish that Charlie, Bill, Mary, whoever came along. So do whatever worksheets you need to do there. And as you go through the list, look at each situation that you've uncovered from your unconscious, because that's what we're doing. We're opening the unconscious mind.
Okay.
Just start looking at it and start using the other tools that you've got. You know, whatever tools you've got in your lives, the ones you've gotten from me, the ones you got from Rattle for Forgiveness, whoever, from the scene, whatever tools you've got. Now I'm going to go to work on these things until I clean this totally and completely out of my mind. So that'll be, you know, there's a combination. There are 2 things that have to happen in healing. One is the undoing process, and the other is the strengthening process. So this is the tool I'm going to suggest that in concert with the forgiveness worksheet, you utilize for the undoing part.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts about that before I move to the other tool?
Right now I can't do it when I get right off the phone. So just
when you can. You know, maybe it's going to be tomorrow afternoon you can block out that time.
Right. Can I find out more information about mind shifters than this so that I can get clearer?
Yeah, I'm here to do that for you right now. Yes. I mean, you don't have the video
let me go
to watch,
over it
so
then.
I mean, I spend more time with it, but that's what I'm here to do with you right now.
Okay, so I have another question then. So upon completing the anything that comes up from the first mind shifter, all the men in my life have always appreciated me. I see the goal. I wish, and then, but just write without censoring for 4 hours straight.
Absolutely. Just let it flow.
And then come back and then ask how and sit with it, figure out how many worksheets will come up that I have to do, at least get an idea. And then the other question that I need to get clarity about is then I go do the thought that I wish.
Breathe.
Okay, that I wish men treated that honored that I spoke up, and then do I wish my dad would have what am I doing a worksheet until
you might do 1, 10, 2, 100 worksheets. I don't know. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of worksheets.
What comes up with I wish the goal? I wish my dad would have listened to me. Speak up.
So when you do a worksheet, the core of the worksheet is in step number 3, where you identify a goal that you have.
Okay.
And then the core of the forgiveness process is the canceling of that goal and processing out whatever surfaces in response to it.
Right.
Okay? So you may look at that 4 hours of writing and you may have 2 years of work to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you start doing it. And it might look like, 12 worksheets. It might look like 200. It might look like 2,000. I don't know what's going to be uncovered. It's going to be some pretty heavy-duty stuff, I suspect.
Yeah. Well, what was the worksheet?
And so you do that work as long as it takes to do that work.
Oh, but wishing doing a worksheet on I wish my dad would have listened to me. That's included. That's not something separate.
That would be one of the worksheets. That's the first worksheet I'm suggesting it to do.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that'll be that'll be the first thing, and then you want to go through everything that you've written and isolate and identify every goal that's on that 4 hours of writing that you need to start to cancel and clean up in your mind.
Oh,
everything that it points to. So that's just the first. I just suggested the first worksheet you'll be doing.
Oh no, that's fine. So I have one other question, and then I'll let anybody else that wants to get on and
we're not finished yet. We got another whole thing to do. So you've got as much time as you need.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So when the guys, we've got this Thursday and Friday scheduled 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours each morning for him to come by and paint. Mm-hmm. Should I just be sitting there doing a worksheet while he's here?
Well, Remember I said there are two parts to the process. One is the undoing part.
Right.
Here's the start of the undoing part, this whole assignment
Right.
with the worksheets and all. The other part is the strengthening part. So we've got a different tool to strengthen you to handle that sort of circumstance.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Strengthening.
So the second tool is called responsibility communication.
Oh, yeah. I got that.
And actually, okay, perfect. Good. Well, that'll be perfect. And I was going to say, if you want to get more information if you've got all the videos.
Do you hear what I think you said or something? It's called that. Is that it?
Communication. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
But on the topic of the mind shifters, there's also mind shifters, an introduction to still point breathing. Do you have that video?
No, I need it.
Oh. Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, I just explained the process, but if you wanted a deeper focus on it, it's on that video. Or you could go to the website and order it. You can either order a physical copy of it, or we now have them all in digital format. So if you just order it, we'll send you a link out right away, and you can watch it.
Awesome.
But it's not a necessity. You've got the tool down pat.
Okay.
I'm just realizing that we've got them digitally, so you could do that if you wanted to.
All right.
Okay. So now, the next thing I'm going to suggest that you do is that you go to our website, or actually, Jeannie's probably already put the link in the notes for today. And Jeannie, I'm trying to remember, there was a woman who was in India and experienced some sexual abuse from a therapist there, and she did a responsibility communication letter. Did we put that on the website? Just trying to remember. Do you recall?
I'll try to find it and put a link to it. I don't think we put it as a separate one, but I'll look and see.
I'm on your website right now. Would I be able to find it?
Well, let's leave that. That'll take more time than we want to take here. We want to give you as much time as we can. So we'll leave that in Jeannie's hands.
Here, what is this responsibility communication rules? Is that it? Responsibility?
Well, that's an outline. That's an outline for the tool that I'm suggesting. Yes.
Oh, I see.
That'll be the outline. And then there's a letter. Actually, there were two letters. There's one from a young man who's doing responsibility communication with his father around alcohol. That will be a good model for you. Okay. And the second one is a woman who was experiencing sexual abuse from a therapist, and she did responsibility communication with him around that. That would be another excellent model for you.
That's awesome.
So
thank you. How will I get those?
We'll leave that in Jean's hands. She'll come back to us. So,
do you receive text? Do you receive text on the number that you called in on?
No, I'd have to give you another number.
Okay. Well, just
drop Jeannie a note.
Yeah,
drop Jeannie a note. Okay, I'll text
Jeannie's
you.
email is.
Okay.
JEANIE at Huygen. Yes, and then I'll send you links.
JENIE.
And then IE. No, just one N.
No.
Okay.
JEANIE at Huygen.org.
I got it.
And then I'll send you links.
Too. Okay. We do have that other letter on the site, though, honey.
I have not found it yet. No, the other letter that's on there is the one for Joy.
Okay. Well, if it's not there, I have it in my computer. We'll find it. We'll get it on there, and we'll get a link to her. So they will be the models for you. They'll be the models for you writing a responsibility communication letter to him. And it's actually such a sweet, perfect setup. I acknowledge you as a creator. I suspect you've probably watched our video on creating consciously. Have you?
Yes, I've watched them all, Michael, many times. I fall asleep with them on. So I'm not kidding.
Perfect. Well, here's my acknowledgement for you. You've got someone who perhaps represents a threat to you in your core issue, which is sexual abuse. But he's not a sexual abuser, has not become a sexual abuser. Right. But he's resonated all and brought it up to the surface for you. How perfect is that?
No, it is a gift. I keep telling myself that,
And he sounds like someone who's there, willing to listen, and
Yes.
will be the perfect sounding board for you to do responsibility communication with.
Awesome.
To totally, completely clean this up. I mean, what a perfect setup.
Yes. Oh my God! Thank you for putting
So I
it into
hold
that
the
context.
space. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll hold the space that he is just as gentle as you've put him forward as when you share with him about what's going on for you. And the idea of responsibility communication, you know, most people think when a reality shows up in their mind, i.e. I'm feeling threatened sexually,
Yeah.
as in this situation, most people
Right.
take that and project it and say, you really threaten me sexually. What do you suppose the average person's going to do if I say that to them? They're going to turn tail and run. They're going to get angry. They're going to be defensive, whatever happens. You don't
Yeah.
have to do any of that. You can do responsibility communication with him and say, hey, Bill, I have an issue. You know, I'm just going to kind of model a short form of what that might look like.
Okay.
And if you'd like, between now and Thursday, if you'd like to send Jeannie a copy of it, either she or I will give you some feedback on it to refine it. So
Okay.
it would look something like this. Gee, Bill, I have an issue that's come up for me in our interaction. I really appreciate the fact that you've been a friend to me and that you're supporting me and doing this painting, and I get to support you and taking care of your dog. And it's really wonderful. But something came up for me the other day, and what I want to do is heal what's going on in me around that. So you've kind of set a framework up. That'd be the first step in the worksheet. And commit yourself to communicating about this with him.
Uh-huh.
And then the next step will be to lay out the mechanical facts of what happened. This is kind of the instruction set on responsibility communication. Lay out the mechanical facts. You know, I was in the front room and you were explaining something to me about blah, 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 whatever the situation was, and you came over and you put your hands on my hips and moved me aside. And what came up for me was feeling threatened about being sexually abused again. I have a history of that. So what that brought up for me. So right now you're not saying anything about what he did aside from the mechanical facts that he put his hands on your hip and moved you over. There's no accusation. There's no nothing.
Right.
It's total ownership. And man, that brought terror up for me, or that brought hatred up for me, or that brought fear, or maybe all three. And here's why. When I was a child, and you've shared that with him already, so he's already privy to the knowledge. What a perfect setup. And so what I'm asking for is your support in healing this. Do you have any ideas?
Okay, wait.
And if he doesn't have any ideas, that might be the space for you to say, well, there's this forgiveness process, the worksheet process that I use, and seeing as how you've triggered that for me and I'm feeling safe enough to speak it and clean it up, I feel like you're the perfect person to hold the space for me and support me going through that. And maybe you'll have to explain a little bit about holding the space and have him sit there while you do the worksheet with him as the object of attention. And you
not with him there, right?
Absolutely, with him there. That's the request.
Do the worksheet with him there?
Yes, ma'am.
So he's going to go through the worksheet with me?
Well, here's what I'm suggesting. And of course, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do any of it. But it sounds again like the perfect setup.
Okay.
So here's what the request would look like. So that's what's up for me, is this terror or this hatred or this rage or this fear or this sadness or this grief or all of you, whatever is true for you, to lay that out on the table with him. And what I'm understanding about the healing process, you know, what one of my mentors, Michael Ryce, has suggested that I do, is ask you to be here to support me with it. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take this worksheet and I'm just going to bounce it off of you. I'm going to do the steps. And maybe you'll do 2 or 3 or 4, 5 worksheets, this same worksheet, before you ever do this with him. But ask him to sit there at the table with you as you fill in the blanks. I, who am love, feel. Okay, let's do terror. And what's the situation? You know, what happened? Well, I was standing over in the corner, and Bill came over, put his hands on my hips, and moved me over. And what came up for me was all this fear about being sexually abused and this fear about speaking up to men.
Right.
So just explain to it. Fill in the worksheet. Go through it. And you know, maybe explain it to me. And here's how the forgiveness process works. Now that I see that I have a goal for you to be a safe space for me, that's what I'm requesting from you. But at the same time, men have never been a safe space for me. So thank you for being here. And now I'm going to cancel my goal for you to be a safe space.
Okay.
And as you do, with him being there present with you, breathing and holding the space, which I suspect from what you said, he'll be happy and integritous enough to do, then the floodgates are probably going to open. And it will be a perfect space for all of this old trauma to be let loose.
Yes, yes. All right.
What a perfect setup. You are a genius.
No, I say the Creator is a genius to set this up with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, your willingness is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, this is awesome. And, oh, my God, I can't believe I can actually... No, I choose to believe that I'm actually going through this in a way that's going to be healing.
Yeah, and, you know, there are lots of men who are delighted to be that space and that support. You know, and I say
know
this
he
from
is.
experience.
I know he is. And that's why it throws me off, because I know he was safe enough to open up to after 2 years and opening up a little tiny bit at a time.
So he's got the history. He's been the space. He's been your trigger. How perfect. You know, and if you were listening to the show last week, one day last week, or maybe it was a week before, you know, Jeannie, my wife, has had some really horrendous sexual abuse in her first marriage.
Okay.
And we've been together 16 years now. And it was just a week or a week and a half ago that she got safe enough to open that whole file in her mind and share things with me. I mean, afterwards she said, I'm just shocked at myself because I've never told anybody that stuff.
Yeah. Right.
And that's how it melts.
Safe.
You know, that's how it lets go.
Yeah.
And I suspect, you know, one of the reasons, you know, all the confluences of the universe, when we talk about how it takes 5 to 10 years to really comprehend this work, you know, how has it all come together? You know, are you out there ready to do a piece of healing? Jeannie, who's been doing this work for 16 years and really working at cleaning up that whole experience, and it just, I mean, that doorway opened and here you are.
Yeah.
How perfect
Wonderful.
is it?
Oh, my gosh.
How perfect is it?
Yes, it's so incredibly perfect because actually I haven't had pictures of my mother and father in my house for many, many years, and I've been doing this forgiveness work now for about a month again, and they're up on my mantles and everything, and I just realized I'm letting go of the victim story, but it's deeper than that. So this is the deeper part of it. And just to put their pictures up it was a stage that I'm letting go, but this is deeper. Can you hear me?
Go for it.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say that because even my daughter's like, why do you have their pictures up there? Daughter's
been my confidant. Here's what will happen as you heal. Here's what will happen as you heal.
Okay.
And you may open the genetic component for your daughter to be free of this as well.
Okay.
Is that what I hear you doing is you're developing a deeper connection with love and compassion where you can look at your father, who was pretty outrageously abusive to a young girl, and your mother, who did the same, and recognize they were just functioning out of their trauma.
Yes.
And as you bring their energy back in, you can help to process that in your genes so that you become free of it. They become free of it. And if both mom and dad were in that kind of space, who the hell knows what their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents were like.
Yes. So I'm cleaning it up for all the generations.
And in opening that energy window, your daughter gets the benefit of it too, because she gets to free energetically her genes from any form of abuse.
Yes, that was my intention, and I knew it. not just for me. I knew everything I want to help my daughter heal. I mean, I want this gone out of her genes, you know. And so she doesn't understand what you do. She actually took me to a workshop in Dayton when I was in my 40s, early 40s, and because I lived in Cincinnati. And she just sat there patiently, but she said, I don't get this, and I'm going to go get Starbucks down the street. I'll meet you when it's over.
You mean she brought you to one of my workshops in Dayton?
Yes.
How cool. Well, hey, the circle returns, and maybe it's time for her to really understand it.
Yes, well, she listens to me. I'm telling her I'm so excited that this is finally sinking in and my life is changing. And I said it's so beautiful and I can feel love in me and I have no hate for anybody. I said, you know, and I mean, I obviously have feelings that I'm working through, but I own them. I'm not projecting them out. And so she's like, she's listening to me now. I'm not just telling her sad stories, victim stories anymore. I said, I'm not doing it anymore, Michelle. I will not do it. I won't tell a victim story ever again.
And what a perfect setup.
Yeah.
See, Michelle, remember that workshop you took me to so many years ago?
No, she hears about it. She goes, I don't remember.
Right.
That's her M.O.
Well, that's okay. But, and that's the M.O. of people who've been sexually abused. So that may still come to light with her, too. It would surprise me.
Right. Yeah.
So and one of the reasons people run, one of the reasons people use drugs, one of the reasons people keep busy, which is the most common drug on the planet, the reason why people rage and scream and all the things they do is because they're running away from something inside of themselves.
Yes,
I know. You're turning around and facing it. And when you turn around and face it, it dissolves.
Yeah.
Because now it's just a memory. Yeah. But if we never process through the memory, then it becomes a motive for behavior in the future.
Yes.
So here's my other suggestion.
Okay.
That you might ask Michelle, maybe the first worksheet that you do around this whole situation.
Okay.
After you finish your 4 hours of writing.
Yes.
Might be to sit Michelle down and ask her to be the space and hold the space for you to go through the first worksheet you do out of that writing.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And then perhaps, as you write the responsibility communication, you'll make a copy of the guidelines, make a copy of the sample letters for her, and ask her for feedback. Is there anything else you see that I could put in here and do? And she'll just be walking right through the whole process with you. I mean, how cool is that?
Okay, so give her a copy of the responsibility communication.
I would suggest you print for her. I mean, especially since she took you to one of my workshops so many years ago. It's like, okay, sweetie, here it comes, full circle. Here.
No, I wanted something to send to her. Is that what you said?
Perfect.
Send it to her?
Yeah. Give her a copy of the communication rules worksheet. Give her a copy of the 2 sample responsibility communication letters.
Okay.
Ask her to go over them and support you in writing the letter to this fellow that you're going to be sharing it with.
Okay, and
go
and help me write.
She'll build a whole new set of brain cells.
And help me write and give me feedback about the worksheet I'm going to write for the guy.
Absolutely, and or sit there and do I'm suggesting that the first worksheet that you do after you finish the 4 hours of writing, if she's available, ask her to be there and be holding the space for you, as you're going to ask this gentleman to as well.
To be here at my house?
Well, here, there, wherever it is, the restaurant, at her house, your house, just that you invite her to be the one who holds the space for you to do your first big piece of work around this issue after writing for that 4-hour period on the mind shifter.
Yes. All right. So, she's in Cincinnati. I'm in Phoenix, so she's not going to be in person, but she can hold space for me.
Okay. Yeah,
she can hold space. Huh?
You know, there's Zoom. You can do Zoom for free.
With Ron's going to be here helping me do the worksheet at the same time?
Sounds like a plan to me.
With my daughter doing the worksheet and him? I mean, me doing the worksheet with my daughter and Ron holding his...
Is that your guidance?
That would be totally awesome. Ron doesn't know what's in for him when it comes over to paint.
Well, maybe he does. Maybe there's a part of him who knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows I love her with everything inside of me. I talk about moving back there, and he goes, You've got a nice neighborhood. You've got a nice house. Why do you want to move back there? And I'm just like, because I just need to be around my daughter. He has a daughter, too, that he loves just as much as I do. I mean, as I love mine. So he gets it. Okay, so I appreciate the gift that you're giving me. It's the biggest gift that I feel I ever got in my life.
Yeah. So the other side of the equation is, I appreciate the gift you're giving me to give this to you. Because
Thank you.
That's what our culture, that's what our world needs. There's too much of this been going on for too long.
Yeah.
And I think your courage has probably opened the hearts of everybody who's in this community and listening to this show right now, and people who will listen to this show 500 years from now will get a gift from what you've done, the courage you've shown, and the willingness. I mean, it's monumental.
Thank you, because I want to be a gift.
Tough piece of work.
Thank you.
And I suspect that Jeannie might have some thoughts to share with you, sweetheart.
Well, this is just super powerful. Thank you so much for opening up to us, Celia. And
thank you.
Being able to face it, it's, for so many years, I just pushed it down and said, okay, I don't have to look at my abuser again. I don't ever have to see him again or deal with this. But it was always in there running me, even unconsciously, and drawing situations to me where the Creator was saying, hey, you need to look at this. You need to get it out of your system. You need to heal. And, one of the things in the recording that, Dr. Tim wasn't on at the first half, and he was playing a recording where he interviewed Corinne Zupko. And one of the things that he quoted was Rene Descartes, and said, if you are a real seeker of truth, then you must at least once doubt all things. And then they went on down to say, I'm trying to read my notes and talk at the same time. If you ask yourself the question, do you want to heal or do you want to just fix it? And so to fix it is for this guy to, behave himself and not, push any buttons or trigger anything. But to really heal, you have to uproot all the thoughts and look at the anxiety and the panic and the, all those things and question everything and then replace it with love. And being able to go there is a big step, and you've taken that step. And I'm here for you and with you. And please drop me that email, and I'll send you back a bunch of links.
Okay.
All right. Breathe.
I've got my computer on me here. Thank you.
We are
How
both
long did it
breathing
take you to work through it, Jeannie? How long did it take you to work through yours? Have you been doing worksheets for how many years?
Well, the first time that I did a workshop was in 2004. And I just did that big breakthrough last week. But the events happened when I was 16, 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And so
15 years ago.
Knocking it down for, 50 years.
Oh. 50 years? Yeah.
Yeah, so being able to be safe enough to actually look at it and work through it and be done with it so we can move on and actually live like we're supposed to live,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Like I was created to live, yeah.
And out of the work that Jeannie's done in that regard, Jeannie's got a women's workshop that she does that is in many cases focused on healing this whole sexual abuse issue with women. So a workshop called Women Healing Women. And we've talked about her doing that as an intensive in the not too distant future. So
on Zoom, though? On Zoom?
Yeah.
It'll be on Zoom.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
How do I sign up?
Well, I've got to schedule it first. So I'll put you on the mailing list.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
But, also realize that when energies go into our physiology, into our mental, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, whatever, and it creates symptoms, whether it's, physical pain or whether it's mental stress or, depression or whatever, as you're healing and those energies are coming back out, it may look the same. You may go through feeling the depression and feeling the pain. I've been, how many years, Michael, since we did that intensive in Florida? And
it will come out and feel the same.
Yeah. And so, I went through intense hip pain for probably 8 years.
Okay.
After I first started looking at this again. And, now that is gone. But occasionally, I'll hit another layer and the hip pain will come back. And, just recognize that you're moving in the right direction and that the energy's moving out of you, not in you, and don't get lost in the symptoms.
This reminds me, and I've thought this before, of the way you guys have the healing. Seem like that you're not healing, but you are, because it's coming out because you're doing the work. But it reminds me of homeopathy. Homeopathy, it brings up the symptoms instead of repressing them, so the symptoms come up and get worse, actually, after you take a homeopathic remedy. Yeah, you get that right, Michael?
Herring's Law of Cure.
Yeah.
That's exactly Herring's Law of Cure.
Herring's Law. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so...
He's the original homeopath.
Is he really? I was taught it was Hahnemann.
Well, I'm not saying the only, but one of the originators and who developed the understanding of the healing process, who initiated that.
I see. I see, okay.
And then through naturopathy, we've expanded that to recognize that the symptoms of healing are going to happen physically, mentally, emotionally. But those energetic patterns are going to move. And the healing process looks exactly like the disease process looked, and you want to be aware and conscious and stay soft and open so that those things can move rather than follow the old patterns of shutting down the breath, tightening the jaw, tightening the gut, whatever, and letting it all loose and let it open and let it go. Let it be removed from your structure, which is forgiveness.
Yes, and I'm willing because it's like I'm done. I'm done with living this way. I'm done with being
Yay. The world rejoices. Millions yet unborn will benefit from the work you do.
Oh, yes, millions will. When we all do our work, we resonate in other people the strength to do it. Is that true?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right on track. Now,
thank you so much.
Just quickly, because we've just got a minute or so left, and I'm just going to throw out, when the symptoms start to move, what are the signals? When you become symptomatic, how do you tell you're in a healing process? And Jeannie, maybe you could send her the links to those shows where we did Healing Crisis, where you had conversation about healing crisis. But there are 4 things to watch for. When you become symptomatic, to make sure you're in a healing process rather than a disease process. First question you ask yourself is, have I been doing more and more of the right things? Well, obviously you are. So that's check mark number 1.
Right.
2, just before these symptoms occurred, and they may be physical, they may be mental, they may be emotional, did you reach a new level of vitality and aliveness? At a new level of vitality, energetically you dig into the next depth of what needs to be cleared out.
What is your definition of a level of vitality, though?
Just your strength. I go to bed at night and I'm like, man, I feel so good. I haven't felt this good in 10 years. Wow. I'm on top of the world. And then the next morning, you wake up and you wonder if anybody got the number of the Mack truck that went through your room during the night because you're lower than a snake's belly. What happened?
Well,
What's
hit
wrong?
me this morning.
Nothing's
that
wrong.
I had to
Hold
deal
on.
with it.
Hold on. Hold. No,
Okay.
I want to finish these thoughts. So if you'd hold off, we've only got about 40 seconds. And the show's going to cut us off. So when I hit that new level of vitality, the structure says, the old stuff you've hidden away, we can now handle that layer, and the energy's going to start to move. It's going to start to come out physically, mentally, emotionally. So that's the third thing, or the second thing you ask yourself. Third thing is you look at what's happening with your elimination. In a healing process, there's an increase in elimination. In a disease process, there's a restriction elimination. And we're talking about all the eliminated organs, the bowel, the urinary tract, skin, mucous membranes, lungs, all of it. The fourth question you ask yourself when you become symptomatic, and you want to watch out for this, is what's the drug I used when this happened initially to keep it suppressed? Because as the healing process happens, literally the energy patterns of whatever drug was used in the past, whatever it is, rage, fear, alcohol, busyness, whatever it is, the energetic signature of that is locked in with the trauma that's being released. And when the energetic signature starts to come out, there could be a tendency to fall back into the drug. So stay conscious, keep doing the right things, let go of the drug, and process through it. And that way you'll have the best year yet of your eternal life, and that's what we're here to support. And the show is going to cut us off in probably about 2 seconds. So I'm going to say thanks for your courage, and stick with us, keep us posted. We're here to support you.